Hi there, welcome to this video where I'm going to give you a photo tour of New York. We've recently got back from a cruise to America, and while we was there, one of the places we visited was New York. Now this wasn't a photography trip, I was just there on holiday with my wife, but I took lots and lots of photographs, and some of them I really like. So what I thought I'd do in this video is show you why I enjoyed visiting New York and photographing it. We got up at 5:15 to sail into New York, and ahead of us there is the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, and that is the entrance into New York Harbour. Once we'd sailed under that, we got our first proper glimpse of the Manhattan skyline there on the right and New Jersey City on the left. This is one of the shots I took of the Manhattan skyline, and we did get a really lovely sunrise and some really great cloud formations. We did see the Staten Island ferry that is famous. You can go from one side of Manhattan to New Jersey. And then we sailed past the Statue of Liberty, which is a really iconic part about sailing in to New York. It brings back what it must have felt like for immigrants to sail into New York and get their first glimpse of their new life. But it's an amazing thing to photograph. Even though we didn't get any closer than this, I still really enjoyed sailing past. Just the feeling that it gave seeing these icons and then all of the buildings on the skyline of Lower Manhattan was spectacular. Our first stop was the Dakota, which is the building where John Lennon was famously murdered in 1980. Now it's also been home to Judy Garland, Lauren Bacall and Leonard Bernstein, and Yoko Ono still lives there now. Now this is right outside an area of Central Park called Strawberry Fields, and there's a memorial here dedicated to John Lennon and his memory, and so it's a very somber place to visit if you're a Beatles fan. Central Park is a massive 843 acres of public park in the centre of New York, and it's the most visited urban park in the United States, with an estimated 42 million visitors annually as of 2016. Of these 42 million people, only about 14% are first-time visitors. Central Park contains 58 miles of pedestrian paths, and it's got many natural-looking plantings and landforms, and these have been almost entirely landscaped when the park was built in the 1850s and 1860s. Almost 500,000 cubic yards of rock had to be blown up, dug out and removed. And a fun fact is this epic task required more gunpowder than was used in the Battle of Gettysburg. The Bethesda Terrace and Fountain are the only formal features in the park's original blueprint. Construction of the terrace and fountain occurred during the American Civil War. The 8-foot bronze statue depicts a female winged angel touching down on top of the fountain, and beneath her are 4 4-foot cherubs representing temperance, purity, health and peace. The distinctive architecture and interior design of Grand Central Terminal Station House have earned it several landmark designations, including as a historic landmark. Its Beaux Arts design incorporates numerous works of art. Grand Central Terminal is one of the world's 10 most visited tourist attractions, and while I was there I did try a long exposure photograph to try and show the movement and how busy everything was. Following that, we got the subway down to Brooklyn. Now, travelling on the subway in New York is just as easy as the underground in London, and what we particularly liked was there were television screens in the roof of the subway car that changed to tell you when the next station was approaching. We decided to walk into Lower Manhattan across the Brooklyn Suspension Bridge because not only is it a spectacular construction in its own right, but it gave us great views of the city as well as we were walking across. Now, the Brooklyn Bridge is a hybrid cable-stayed suspension bridge spanning the East River between the boroughs of Manhattan and Brooklyn. It opened on the 24th of May in 1883. Now, it was also the longest suspension bridge in the world at the time of its opening, building with a main span of 1,595.5 feet and a deck of 127 feet above mean high water. The span was originally called the New York and Brooklyn Bridge or the East River Bridge, but it was officially renamed the Brooklyn Bridge in 1915. While we were in Lower Manhattan, we had to visit the 9/11 Memorial and pay respects to the 2,977 people that died in the attacks on the World Trade Center in 2001. It was an extremely moving experience, and it is a fitting way to keep the memory alive. While we were there, a firefighter from Ladder 3 was giving a tour to existing firefighters. He was there on the day, and his fire truck is part of the museum. He lost all members of his firehouse, and it was a very harrowing experience to hear his story. The museum is built in the footprint of the original tower, and parts of the foundations are still visible. I'll let the images tell the rest of the story. The locations where the tower stood are marked by two water features surrounded by the names of those who died in the 1993 and 2001 attacks. One World Trade Center, which was originally named Freedom Tower, stands over the Memorial Plaza and is reflected in the water. On the plaza is a pear tree that was discovered amidst the wreckage. Its bark was charred and many of its limbs were reduced to stumps, but it still showed signs of life. Following careful tending, the tree was replanted at the 9/11 Memorial in 2010, and each spring it bursts into magnificent blossom, embodying a living symbol of resilience. We then set off to walk back up through Greenwich Village towards Times Square. Now this was going to take quite a while, but we did have several stops that we wanted to make along the way. We saw lots of interesting architecture, and our first stop was the Friends apartment that you see in the television show. Parking is a real challenge in New York, and you can see one of the solutions that they've come up with, and that's to stack the cars like in this photograph. The next location we were heading for is Hook and Ladder 8. Now this is the firehouse that was used in the Ghostbusters movie, and they've still got Ghostbusters signage on the outside of the building, and of course I had to have my photograph taken there. Washington Square Park is a public park in the Greenwich Village neighbourhood, and the park is an open space dominated by the Washington Square Arch at the northern gateway to the park, with a tradition of celebrating non-conformity. A visit to New York wouldn't be complete without visiting one of the observation decks to get a bird's eye view of the city. We chose to visit Top of the Rock in the Rockefeller Center. A quick elevator ride takes you up to the observation deck on top of the skyscraper, and it was opened in 1933 and is 850 feet above street level. In addition to the deck, the attraction includes a triple-storey observatory on the 67th to the 69th floor. Now, it's not the tallest observation deck in the city, but its main attraction is that as well as a view of the Empire State Building, you also get a view over Central Park. Our final destination before returning to the ship was Times Square. Now, because we were getting towards evening, it was brightly lit by lots of digital billboards and advertisements. It's one of the world's busiest pedestrian areas, and it's also the hub of the Broadway Theatre District. Times Square is one of the world's most visited tourist attractions, drawing an estimated 50 million visitors annually. Approximately 330,000 people pass through Times Square daily, and many of them are tourists. Now, it was formerly known as Longacre Square, and Times Square was renamed in 1904 after the New York Times moved its headquarters to the then newly erected Times buildings, now One Times Square. It is the site of the annual New Year's Eve ball drop, which began on December the 31st in 1907 and continues to attract over 1 million visitors to Times Square every year, in addition to a worldwide audience of 1 billion or more on various digital media platforms. What I'll do now is I'll leave you with some of my favourite photographs that I took during our visit to New York. Well, that's been a slightly different video than normal, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. We had such a super trip to New York. It was so memorable in many ways, right from going up on the Rockefeller Center to the 9/11 Museum to just experiencing the city. It was an absolutely magical experience. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, do let me know down below in the comments, because I really do love hearing from you all. Or you can nip over to my Instagram and Vero account, that's @DickDunPhotography. Leave me your comments there and also see lots of my photographs. Now, if you like what I do on the channel and want to help support me to make future content like this, then you can also leave via the gift shop, that's at Teespring. There I've got a range of merchandise on offer, so check that out, because a purchase really is very much appreciated. And also, don't forget the super thanks button. But you don't have to spend any money at all to support the channel. You can do that simply by clicking like, subscribe and the bell notifications, because it really helps me out and it makes sure that you don't miss out on any future content. Watch out for next week's video, that goes live on Sunday. In the meantime, go and check out this video just up here, but all that's left now is to say, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.